views or opinions expressed on KUR are not necessarily those of Kutztown University, Kutztown University Student Government, Kutztown University Student Services Incorporated, KUR staff and management, or other affiliated organizations.
This is Kutztown Live, Kutztown University's campus and community issues talk radio magazine. You can listen back to any of our episodes of Kutztown Live by going to Spotify and searching Kutztown University Radio. And now, your hosts of Kutztown Live. Welcome to Kutztown Live, here on the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR, as we continue our series of interviews with the Northeast Berks Chamber of Commerce. And we turn the microphone over bi-weekly to Lori from the Chamber. I would like to welcome Lori right now to the program. Lori, take it away.
Thank you so much, Mike. We're pleased to be here again this week on Kutztown University Radio for Kutztown Live. I'm excited to announce that we have 2 virtual programs scheduled this month. Coming up on Monday, June 8th, which is next Monday at 10 a.m., we will be running a 1-hour program. It's open to the public, so members as well as non-members. You can register online through LinkedIn or the Chamber Facebook page, and it will be a program led by Russell Farbiars, who is the managing attorney at Antonavich Farbiars in Hamburg, and also Ben Hawes, who is a certified financial planner for Hawes Financial Group in Kutztown, on really planning for the unexpected, having a business continuity plan, which is a very timely topic considering the disruption of business with COVID-19. Again, that will be held on Monday, June 8th from 10 to 11, and registration is free through our Chamber Facebook or LinkedIn platforms. Coming up a few weeks later on June 23rd, we will be hosting our second member meetup. These meetups are held quarterly, and they're designed for new members, prospective members, and even established members of the Northeast Berks Chamber. And we spend about 90 minutes doing a deep dive into the benefits and how to leverage them for improved visibility, marketing your business, and growth and development as well. So those are 2 programs that we have coming up. Please follow us at northeastberkschamber.com to stay current on all of our events, or on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter. Today, I'm very excited to announce our guest. Her name is Beth Garrigan, and she is the brand new Chief Executive Officer at Safe Berks. Welcome, Beth.
Hi, thank you very much.
In fact, you're only on day 2 of the title. Is that correct?
That's correct.
That's correct. Now, you've been working at Safe Berks, formerly known for many years as Berks Women in Crisis. Prior to this new role as Chief Executive Officer, you were the Chief Operating Officer. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Tell us a little bit about how you got involved with Safe Berks and your career ahead of these roles.
Prior to coming to Safe Berks, I worked for the Children's Home of Reading. I was working in the residential program as the program manager. And a lot of the work that we did was with children who experienced domestic violence in their past. So, I saw firsthand the need for helping families work through that. And a friend of mine was already working here at Safe Berks and loved the work she was doing. And so when the position opened for Chief Operating Officer, I decided I would give it a try. And I'm very happy I did. I love being here.
I was reading your resume, and in addition to working at the children's home, you also work for the Department of Public Welfare. So you've had many years of some very relevant experience leading into your roles at Safe Berks. So that's really important. It sounds like an excellent fit for you, Beth.
Yes, yep, a lot of work in helping families basically that are coming from either traumatic situations or are in need of a helping hand to get back on their feet and get back into self-sufficiency.
Now, as I mentioned earlier, Berks Women in Crisis, I believe, was a rather visible organization for now probably over 40 years in the city of Reading. And there was a relocation several years ago to a new site where all the services come together under one roof.
Yes.
Now you have at Safe Berks, there are a number of services, including the 24-hour hotline. Of course, there is a shelter, there's housing on site as well, counseling services for those in the shelter, but also in the community, legal services, education. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the services and maybe how COVID-19 has impacted some of your typical practices at Safe Berks?
Sure. We do provide, all of the services that you indicated. And the other thing I definitely want to mention is that the services are free and confidential. Our hotline and text line is manned 24 hours a day in English and Spanish, and we do have access to any other language so that a survivor calling will always have someone on the other line to assist them. Our counseling services are open to both our current residents as well as anyone in the community. We help survivors who have either recently experienced sexual assault or domestic violence, or perhaps it happened years ago and now they want someone to talk to about it. So it does not have to be a current situation. We also help family members of survivors with counseling services. The counseling department also offers support groups, several different types of support groups that are offered throughout the month. And right now they are offering all of those services. Unfortunately, it's virtual, but we have not really seen a drop in the numbers that we're serving in the counseling department. So they are available to speak to people by phone. And we've also been using a HIPAA compliant video platform. So we're able to do face-to-face counseling as well.
I'm sure that's very valuable. Now, in terms of the shelter and COVID, what's happened there? Have you had a waiting list going into the pandemic for the shelter? And how did you handle the changes with the coronavirus?
We never stopped serving people in the shelter. We have been using some safety precautions. We screen people by taking their temperature and asking the questions that, were being asked anytime we go somewhere as far as symptoms or possible exposure to COVID. We have really changed or enhanced our cleaning methods. We have our residents wearing masks and gloves, and we have hand sanitizer and antibacterial soap available, and our staff are doing the same. And we've, really just been paying attention to the health and safety of all the employees in the shelter as well as the residents.
Yeah, that's excellent. That's wonderful. Now, we know that Safe Berks is also interested in, over the course of a year, donations, financial donations, donations of goods and services, and also looking for volunteers to support all of your efforts. During the time of the coronavirus, are there any changes in terms of collecting or accepting donations?
Yes, unfortunately, during this crisis, we have been unable to accept used donations. We would typically have volunteers coming in on a daily basis and helping out in the shelter and in the kitchen, preparing meals and things like that. So we did need to temporarily stop that, but the community is just fantastic and has still, made sure that we have everything that we need for the residents and the clients that we serve. And we do have people that have been preparing meals and bringing them and dropping them off for us. So everybody has stayed well fed. So we hope to begin bringing back volunteers and donations soon, because we depend on that to keep moving forward. So hopefully as we move into yellow and green, we'll see those things opening back up again.
Now, for those people in the community who may consider volunteering for Safe Berks, what is the process to become a volunteer?
We actually, in order to do direct care volunteer services, you would need to complete the same training that all of our employees go through. We affectionately call it the 66-hour training, but it's an advocate training that gives you all of the information that you need to work with survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault. But we do have volunteers that do not necessarily have direct contact with our residents, and that would be contacting Mindy McIntosh, our Director of Development, and she can help you decide, what services you want to be able to provide.
Beth, I know that in addition to yourself starting a new role this week, there are some other staff who have been announced in some new positions this week. Did you want to tell us about those?
Sure. Filling the role of the Chief Operating Officer is Marilise Colon. She was the Director of Residential Services. So she moved into the COO role, and our past Assistant Director, Aleda Rodriguez, moved into the Director role. So we had all three of us move into our new roles on Monday, which was very exciting. And both of them bring some great new ideas to their new roles, and I see a lot of great things happening for Safe Berks in the future.
Yeah, I think between the three of you, there are quite a few years of experience there. So that does sound very exciting.
Yes.
If someone who's listening today would like to get in touch with the organization to donate, to volunteer, for any reason at all, what are the best ways to contact Safe Berks?
Either calling our main phone number or actually going online. There are contacts for all of the different staff, like Mindy, the Director of Development. But our main phone number is 610-373-1206. And our website is www.safeberks.org. So either way would be the best way to contact us to volunteer.
In closing our interview, in terms of thinking about a person who may be considering contacting Safe Berks for services, what is your best piece of advice if someone's thinking about it, but they just haven't done it yet, or perhaps they're concerned or scared about making that contact?
I would say call anyway. Calling or texting. Sometimes texting feels like a safer way for people to reach out and just ask a question. But our phone number, toll-free number, is 844-789-7233, or texting Safe Berks to 20121 and just ask a question. We're here 24 hours to help.
Yeah, I think that's important. 24 hours and confidential. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much, Beth. Again, congratulations in your new position. We're excited to see. You're welcome. We're excited to see what happens next. Before we close, is there any special event coming up, perhaps in the fall or winter, that you'd like to mention?
Yes, we will have our annual Silent Witness March in October, and our Walk for No More will also be held in October this year.
All right. We certainly hope we'll be in the green then, right? I think so.
I hope so.
I hope so. Thank you so much. Have a great day.